how to make extra money as an online coach, build up a side income, or even turn it into a full-time income in 2025. I'm gonna give you the 5 steps that I took to go from making a no side income to making this. And honestly, if I knew everything that I know now, I would have done this years ago. Making money as an online coach is not as hard as you think it is. And that extra income is so useful if you like to travel, if you want to save up and invest, if you've got big plans for buying a house or having a marriage, whatever it is, the extra income is always useful. So I'm going to give you the blueprint for how I did it. And this is going to be a very simple version, but this will be the most effective way to do this. So you're going to want to start with picking a niche. And a lot of people don't know how to do this. This is where they struggle, because finding something that you can coach on that isn't already saturated or isn't something that you don't know anything about is really kind of tough. But I'm gonna give you a hack for this. Obviously, if you have experience solving a problem in your own life, something that you think a lot of people would benefit from knowing how to solve or overcome, then that should be your niche. But if you don't have anything that you think stands out that you could help people with, then the way to pick a niche is just start learning about something that you wanna improve on in your own life. So for example, if you wanna learn how to lose weight, then start learning how to do that. Watch a lot of content on it. If you want to learn how to build confidence or become a public speaker or how to transition careers, relationships, dating, if these are things that you want to get better at, pick one that's really important to you that you've wanted to get better at and start consuming a lot of content about this subject every single day. In my case, I run a coaching business that is based on helping people with breakups. Now, sure, I've been through a few breakups. They sucked, and I got good at handling it. I got good at getting an ex back. I got good at getting over an ex, all of that stuff. So since I had a little bit of experience overcoming that issue, what I decided to do was to study the subject of breakups, read a couple books, watch a bunch of content, right? And while I was doing that, I was jotting things down, learning how to kind of phrase these ideas in my own words. So what you're gonna do when you pick a niche, it shouldn't take more than 1 week to do that, right? All you have to do is think of something either that you have experience overcoming a challenge in your own life, or think of something that you are interested in getting better at, and then just study it for a week. Start learning the things that resonate with you. Maybe there are things, if you're watching content or reading a book and you're seeing that there are certain issues that you can resonate with, think about those things, write those things down, and learn about the solutions. So do your research, study the niche, pick the niche, and then we're gonna move on to step number 2. Learn the obstacles and the challenges that are common in this niche, right? So for example, if you're gonna solve the problem of helping people get in shape, some people will want to learn how to burn fat, other people will wanna learn how to build muscle, right? So you're gonna wanna learn the challenges that come with those things. Or if somebody's trying to build confidence or become a better public speaker, right? The challenges that they face may be different compared to the next person. So one person may have the issue where they just get nervous before they do public speaking. Another person may have the issue where they don't know how to prepare for it. You're gonna wanna learn the set of challenges that people face, right? What are they? Break them down into categories so that you know how to talk about a few different things. Once you've identified the common challenges that people face within the niche, you're gonna wanna move on to step number 3. Post, don't wait. So one of the biggest things that people run into is just paralysis by analysis, right? They have an idea, they think it's a good idea, but they're afraid of getting in front of the camera. They're afraid of editing the videos the right way, all of that stuff. When I decided I was gonna start an online coaching business, I literally bought a tripod and used the camera on my broken iPhone 13 and just started shooting videos. And they were low quality and they sucked and they weren't getting any views. It doesn't matter. I just kept posting and posting and posting. And after a couple months, they were starting to gain traction. So don't wait, post. And the guideline here for this, in terms of frequency of posting, I would recommend 2 to 3 times per day on TikTok and at least 1 post per week on YouTube. If you follow that, you will start to gain traction faster than you think. I started gaining traction personally within 6 to 8 weeks. And by month 4, I was making at least $5,000 a month. And then it progressed to 6 figures within a couple months after that. Give free value, okay? You want to get testimonials and you want to get better at coaching. So once you've kind of studied, you've picked the niche, you've learned about it, you've identified the challenges that people are facing, you want to actually become a better coach, because one of the big streams of revenue for an online coach is repeating customers. People who book you once and then they book you again, they book you 3 times, whatever, right? So you want to be able to really be good at what you're doing, really be good at coaching what you're trying to coach. And then not only that, when you're first starting out, no one believes you. Okay? No one thinks that you're going to be the person to solve their problem because you probably do not have an audience yet. So no one is even aware of you. They don't know who you are. They don't have trust in you, that you don't have any credibility. So what you want to do is you want to, for the first 10 to 15 people, you want to give your service away for free. This allows you to practice being a good coach. And after you've completed the service for free, you can go ahead and say, hey, can you give me a testimonial, write a review? And then if you've done a good job coaching them, they will want to keep working with you. And eventually, when you scale this up, you can just say to them, hey, listen, I can't do this for free anymore. I have a lot of clients, I have a lot of customers, so I have to charge for my time. And I'm sure if you've done a good job, they'll be willing to pay you. But you have to be really good at coaching what your niche is, and you have to be able to have some testimonials. So the way to do this is give free value, right? You're gonna give away content for free, and then you're gonna actually give your service away for free to at least 10 or 15 customers. Now, the fifth step is you're going to want to craft a coaching package. And the way that you're gonna wanna break this down is you're gonna wanna have 3 services that you offer as a coach. There's gonna be a high ticket item, a medium ticket item, and a low ticket item. This allows you to capture more customers based on where they're ranging in terms of their economic status. Now, there's a few options that you have for high, medium, and low ticket coaching services. The way we would break this down would be you'll have an 8 to 12 week one-on-one program, and that can range anywhere from 2 to 5K, right? I wouldn't recommend starting with that. I think that's something that you can start with later on in your journey as an online coach. But that's one high ticket item. Then you have another high ticket item that you can choose, which I would recommend if you're just getting started as an online coach. You can do a coaching call for an hour, and the range would be 125 to 200 just for starters, right? Obviously these prices are gonna increase. And then you'll have a medium ticket item, which will be a 30-minute coaching call. And that coaching call is going to basically be a little bit more than half of the hour-long call, right? So if they book the 30-minute coaching call, 75 versus the hour is 125, basically they're getting a discount of $25 if they do 125 for the hour. So you wanna encourage people to do the hour-long call. So if they do the 30-minute $75 call with you, for example, they know that if they multiply that by 2 for an hour, it will be 150. So when they do the hour-long call, they're saving some money. The next medium ticket item that you can offer is a video course, okay? And that could range from $35 to $50, $55. And the video course is gonna be something that you put together. You actually sit there, you record step by step how to get from point A to point B. Okay, so whether you're doing the high ticket item of one-on-one 8 to 12 week program or a video course, you want it to be really, really clear that they're going to go from point A, the pain point that they're suffering with, to point B, right? Which is where they've overcome the challenge. You need to sell this and post about this, really get the word out there that your program, whether it's the one-on-one coaching or the video course that you sell, your program will get them all the way to accomplishing whatever the challenges that they're facing. Now, 2 low ticket items that you can pick from will be 1, an ebook, which will be 10 to 20 bucks, right? You can offer an ebook, and honestly, you can use ChatGPT to write a lot of the ebook. I have an ebook that I sell for about 20 bucks, and I've been doing that for a few months. And it has sold thousands of copies because I'm talking about it on my social media posts all the time. Or you can do a community where people join for a small monthly fee, and you can do group coaching calls on a daily basis as often as you want. And that group coaching call could be anywhere from 5 to 10 bucks just to start when you're starting out. Now, this is the general blueprint that I used to build up my personal coaching business to start making over 10 grand a month very quickly. And I think the biggest misconception that people have is that they need to be an expert in the field. They need to have perfectly edited videos. This video is not even edited perfectly, right? None of my content for my breakup coaching business was shot with a real official camera. All of them were shot off my iPhone. All I purchased was a tripod, and I'm already making 6 figures. Now, if you want my personal help building up a 6-figure online coaching business, you can work with me one-on-one, and I will guide you step by step, tell you everything that you need to do from picking a niche to scaling it up. Every step of the way, I will hold your hand until you have a 6-figure online coaching business. You can find the link to work with me one-on-one below.